Okay, so let's center ourselves on our mat and let's just basically, if you feel like it, you can give yourself a big smile. Like we can laugh about the funny things that happen in life. We can not take ourselves too serious, and that actually quite helps us set a positive tone for a nice practice because we put our ego aside and we just focus on what feels good. Okay. No matter how you're sitting, in what position you're sitting, I just want you to take one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. If this is uncomfortable for you, of course, you can just leave them on your thighs. And I want you to notice your breathing. Today we're going to look at what we call the pelvic floor, or how we can strengthen the pelvic floor. I'm going to do the non-postnatal yoga version with you guys. But it's very interesting because we actually stabilize our lower backs by stabilizing our pelvic floor. So this is very interesting for everyone who has a bit of lower back pain, bit of lower back issues. So everyone, basically. When you're ready, because you're all advanced yogis, I gently ask you to start deepening and consciously deepening your breath. So find a nice breathing pattern that first of all fills in your lower belly as well. So we're still in relaxation breathing pattern, breathing all the way from the bottom of our belly into our collarbones. I made the distinction on Wednesday. I think for a lot of people that was the first time that I mentioned this. We have two breathing patterns. We have a deep, thorough breathing pattern all the way into our lower belly and all the way up. And we have an activation breathing pattern, which we'll get to next. So for now, just really feel the depth of your breathing. All the way into your lower belly, all the way into your collarbone. Now, can you release your belly button and just relax your belly for a second? Now, I want you to inhale while keeping the release of the belly button. And I just want you to notice the sensation in your hip and lower back. So while relaxing your belly, just notice the sensation and how your lower back feels when you do that. On your next exhale, I want you to gently draw your belly button in and up. So imagine you're not tilting your pelvis, you're basically just pulling the belly button in and sucking the belly up just a tiny little bit. Now I want you to notice the sensation while keeping that belly button tucked gently. So we're going to practice breathing into our lower belly while keeping that connection. If it's hard to imagine for you how tight you should hold the belly button in, imagine you using tooth floss to tie the belly button to your spine. So it's a very gentle connection. Okay, lower your hands. We're going to keep our belly button tucked in. And next thing we're going to do is on our next inhale, let's grow tall. Lift your collarbones to the sky. And then on your exhale, I want you to gently imagine you're rounding a little bit through the upper body. If you know that you are rounding through the upper body a lot naturally, you can leave out that step. So maybe Alex, you just leave that out. You just aim for length. So let's check in again. On your next exhale, notice the tuck in the belly button. On your next inhale, notice the length. On your exhale, gently tuck the belly button and round the upper spine just a tiny little bit. Okay, let's add our neck. Inhale, growing tall from the spine, drawing the chin against your spine just a little bit. On your exhale, relax your shoulders, tuck your belly button, round through the upper back a little bit. We're going to come back to this. So 2 more breaths, just gently starting from the bottom, aligning our spine. Setting our spine in neutral. When you're ready, take a big, beautiful exhale. Roll your shoulders. Now this is the next task, is to keep your belly button tucked, keep your spine straight while starting movements. We're going to start by rolling our shoulders. So gently find a nice shoulder rolling motion. As you know, we start like that a lot. If you want, you can also add your hands to your shoulders just because it feels extra nice. And we get several types of people obviously in this class. If it's really easy for you, for example, Anka, I know for you, it's really easy to open your chest, like to open your heart, then pay attention to the little rounding in your spine. So if I'm here and my chest is really opening, remember that tiny rounding in the spine to keep your spine in neutral. Yeah, so this is the upper body rounding, which is crucial for our alignment. Okay, swim the other way. So just use your shoulders the other way, a little bit of freestyle, and now come back to your breathing pattern. Remember, we were breathing here. Gently start drawing your breath consciously into your upper belly and all the way to your collarbone. So we're drawing the breath away from the lower belly into a more activity adapted way of breathing. When you're ready, gently let your shoulders drop back down. We're gonna shimmy just a little bit, shake your hands out, and then we're going all the way onto all fours. Okay, pelvic floor alignment means that we're creating tension from our belly button to our sit bone. So we're gonna practice this in cat-cow. On your next inhale, I want you to come into your cow position. So obviously this is a hip tilt. Now can you pull your belly button in? And then imagine you want to draw the sit bones down. So we're not all losing it all the way. We're still holding on. On your next exhale, round through the back. And this automatically draws your hip bones down, but pull your belly button in as well. On your next inhale, back into cow position. So this might be tricky. It's going to get more obvious when we get into forward folding. So hold your belly button, tuck your belly button towards your spine in all of the back bends, because this creates tension in your lower spine, and this is actually what activates your pelvic floor. Okay, let's get moving a little more. On your next inhale, come into your cat pose. On your exhale, come into your nice little neutral back, tucking the belly button in gently. On your next inhale, I want you to reach the left foot back, and we can gently just scoot it against the mat, against the floor for a little bit of a stretch, and you all know where we're headed. We are headed to a little bit of side crunchies. So on your next inhale, can you lift your back leg? And on your exhale, lift the right hand off. Okay, belly button tucks against the spine, and I want you to notice whether you're doing the back arching. Don't do that, we're looking for stability today. So on your next exhale, take your right elbow onto the side, to the outside of your left knee and crunch. We're gonna do 10 of those, so 9 more. And I want you to be very conscious of whether you're rounding through the spine or arching, or whether you can keep your spine straight. So for me, I try to stabilize because I'm flexible in this position. If you know that you're very inflexible and your movements look like this all the time, feel free to adapt this to you. So you are allowed to arch and round. We have to adapt poses to our body's needs, and there's no benefit in further stabilizing if you're already very stable. There's no benefit in mobilizing too much when you're already very flexible. You know what I mean? We want to even out the sides. So, one more. Inhale in, lengthen, and exhale in, crunch. Inhale, lengthen, and we're going to switch side. Exhale, come into cat position. Inhale, into cow position. Exhale, neutral spine. Inhale, step your right foot back. We're going to gently scoot against the back of our leg for a little stretch. And then we're going to exhale, extend your left arm forward. Inhale in. On your exhale, left arm on the side of your right knee. So we really get into the side abs. I hope I have to talk about what I said earlier. So obviously also flexible people want to mobilize their spine. Also very stable people want to mobilize and want more stability, but we want balance. So if one thing is really easy for you, try the other way. Try to make it harder for you. Really remember your breathing. And remember that when you're extending, find length, find tension from the fingertips all the way to your toes. Beautiful. We're gonna do 2 more. Whew. Whew. And then inhale and extend, and exhale, set it down. Come into a nice cat position. Inhale into cow position. And then on your exhale, curl your toes under, set your hands a little bit forwards. I'm gonna lose my socks. And then we're gonna send it to our first downward facing dog. Really just walking out and shaking out the spine that we just started working with. If it feels good, especially if you're sore, like after the class, feel free to bounce a little bit because it shakes out the fascia tissue so we can find a nice little activation and get rid of all our soreness. Okay, let's start moving a little more. On our next inhale, look forward, come to your tippy toes. You can walk or you can hop. I'm gonna choose to hop today. And on your exhale, bow forward, relax. You can shake out your torso, right and left. And then on your next exhale, just come back to center, let your hands drop. On your next inhale, bend your knees, start block position, looking forward. Now, in this position, can you find your Beyonce booty? So you want to send your sit bones back. Now, feel into how this backside feels now. Like your sit bones are kind of moving away. They're giving a smile. Your booty's smiling. I want you to remember the feel. On your next exhale, bow forward. Next inhale, bend your knees. Start looking up and then come all the way up, sending your hands to the sky. And I'm gonna adjust my camera angle. On your next exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. On your next inhale, take your hands through the middle and up to the sky. On your exhale, we're gonna open up to the left. So we're gonna open and turn our body to the left first, or to the right, depends on what you're used to. And then we're gonna go the other way. This is a nice Schultergruß that we usually do. And then take your hands back to center. On your next inhale, send your hands all the way to the front. On your exhale, open up right and left. Inhale, present the goodies. On your next exhale, send a big wave forward, and now interlock your hands behind your back. Beautiful. Inhale and pulling the hands up, the shoulders up, back and down. Palms together, and then extend through your hands. Lengthen. Okay, all the really flexible people, pay attention that your chest is not popping out like I'm doing now, but pull your rib cage down. Now, remember the alignment cues that I gave you earlier. Pull your belly button into your spine without moving the pelvis. Now, find a nice little Beyonce booty. So now we're sending the booty away from us. Inhale in. And on your exhale, I want you to feel the Beyonce booty as we're diving forward into our forward fold. I'm going to change my camera angle. Okay. Now, can you feel this? Try to still send your sit bones back. And now notice the sensation in your lower back, in your hip and in your spine. That sense of opening. Remember to pull your belly button in here as well, since we're protecting the lower back. On your exhale, take your hands back to your back. And then inhale, start block position, look forward. Exhale, take a big right step back. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, come back into your plank position. Inhale, press away from the mat. Correct yourself so your palms are directly underneath your shoulders. You almost have to push yourself a little forward with your toes. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, we're going to come to forearm plank. Beautiful. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, we're going to bend our left elbow sideways and come into side plank. Here's an option for you. If this is really hard, take your knees to the mat and just fold the legs behind you. Just make sure that you're not bending in your hip. Instead, keep a straight line in your hip. We're gonna take 2 more breaths here. Press into your elbow to press away from the mat. And we're gonna add increasing layers of workout into this little form as we continue doing more rounds. On your exhale, take your right elbow take it behind your left and then roll to the other side. Press away from the mat. Take 5 breaths here. This is our first layer. Again, you can take your knees down and just fold them. Just make sure you're not sitting down. You're still keeping that straight line. 2 more. And on your next exhale, take your left hand, take it next to your right fist. We're gonna come back up into side plank. 5 breaths here. This is just a warm up. Later on, we're gonna add crunches. Press away from the mat. You can do this. And then we're gonna use our right hand to come to the other side. Woo! Some 4 more. Press away from the mat. And then we're going to take our left hand back to the mat. Press away from the mat. Take our knees to the mat. Inhale into your cow position. Now, here, pull your belly button against your spine. And can you find that Beyonce booty opening that you found in your forward fold? Now, this is your correct alignment for any sort of back bend. Inhale in, your fingertips are pointing to the side. Lean forward. Chris, please lean all the way to the mat already. Everyone else, chin and chest. Inhale here. Exhale, come all the way to the mat. Our favorite flow. And this is where we will use our block this time. Take your block, take it in between your thighs. Best of all, you can take it in between, depending on how your thighs are, the upper thighs, or in between your legs, your lower legs as well. So if it feels better to hold it with your feet, why not? Yeah? Yogi's choice. We're gonna do that nice exercise where we open up and use our elbows. So this time though, take your block in between your legs and we're gonna press our legs together against our blocks to really hold the block in, okay? So when you're ready, take your hands next to your ears and you can either point or flex your legs, that doesn't matter. Relax your shoulders. On your next inhale, lift legs and upper body. Exhale, right elbow to the sky as high as you can. Take an inhale here. Exhale, center. Inhale, lift, 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 lift. Exhale, left side. Inhale here. Exhale, center. Inhale, lift everything. And exhale, release. 1 big inhale. Next round, if this is already really easy for you, try tucking your belly button against your spine. If this is easy for you, this makes it harder. When you're ready, on your next inhale, lift. Exhale, right elbow to the sky. Again, tuck your belly button in if you want. Come back to center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left elbow to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, center. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Last round. When you're ready, on your next inhale, lift everything. Exhale, right elbow to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale here. Exhale, center. Inhale, lift, 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 lift. And exhale, release. Beautiful. Shake that booty. Take your block out and away. We're just gonna really release the lower back. Take your hands next to your chest, fingertips pointing to the outside. Inhale, belly button pulls against your spine. Press into your hand. Exhale, come up into baby cobra. Inhale, slide your hands back to open the chest. Now remember, we're gonna pull our belly button in and we're gonna try to keep that opening in the lower spine. So that nice sensation of Beyonce booty. On your next exhale, come all the way back into your child's pose. You can opt to take your toes together, your knees wide, and just relax. This is the opposite of crow pose, obviously, of cobra pose, because we're kind of gently rounding into the spine here. Child's pose. First curve the spine takes, so we take time to reset here and relax the lower back muscles. Direct your breath to flow all the way into any area that you can already sense here today. And then we're gonna roll through another beautiful round. When you're ready, inhale in, reach your arms forward. On your exhale, come into your nice little cat position. On your inhale, into your cow position, close your knees underneath you. Or for regular cat position, curl your toes under, send your hands a little further forward, and then send it to downward facing dog, walking your dog. Whew. Beautiful. We're really using the time to shake out what our mama gave us. When you're ready, place your weight into your left foot, reaching your right foot up high. We are gonna do 3 to 5. So if 5 are too much, please do 3. Right knee comes to the left elbow. Feel free to do a little bit of a push up here if you have too much energy or if you want more workout here. Yeah, this can be quite fun. So I'm going to do 3 because I want to start easy. Feel free to do 5 in the same time. When you've done that, I want you to pee on a fire hydrant. So curling the right toes out, right knees out. We're going to bring our knee to the right elbow 5 times. Or 3 to 5 times, depending on how much you feel like working today. And then we're gonna come back into our 3-legged dog, which is where we're gonna meet everyone. Come to your tippy toes. We're gonna come into a side plank again. Come to your tippy toes, and then on your exhale, I want you to move your right knee towards the left elbow. And then your left foot comes sideways. And then we lean into our right hand and we open up, our lower leg is flying. Your lower thigh is parallel to the floor and we're not letting our foot hang. Our foot stays in that line. So our foot is parallel to the floor. Beautiful. Take one big inhale in. If you want, you can extend the leg and set it down. Yeah? If this is possible for you, keep holding. 2 more. One big, beautiful inhale. And on your exhale, take your left hand back. Send your right foot to the sky. Inhale in. On your exhale, take your right leg forward. Step it up behind your right hand. Look forward. Inhale. Exhale, left knee to the mat. Inhale, press into your right foot. Coming all the way to the sky. I'm going to switch sides so you can see. Counter stretch. Let's take our left hand on the outside of our right thigh and then take the right hand behind. You can gently press your hand against your thigh and we can find a nice little twist here. If it's possible for you and it feels good, you can slide your hand down and take your shoulder in front of your knee. If this feels okay too, you can advance, taking your right hand to the sky, curling the thumb back, and then you may bind if you want. So you can find your bind around your front foot. Yeah, just press your shoulder into your foot, really taking time to breathe. Wherever you are, take 2 or 3 beautiful breaths here, just noticing, slowing down. And then on your next exhale, gently come back to the first pose we initially started in. So we're gonna come back up, take our right hand behind our back. Inhale, look over your shoulder, and exhale, gently come back to center. Inhale, leading your hands to the sky. Exhale, hands on the inside of your front foot. Curl the front toes out for lizard pose. Now, I want you to pay attention before we get in. Pull your belly button towards your spine. Curl the back toes over. And now, can you find Beyonce booty in this pose? Beyonce booty and pulling the belly button in. So this is correct alignment for your spine. And we're gonna scoot front and back, just really paying attention to what we feel. This is working your piriformis. You can also draw nice little circles. Pull your belly button in and try to keep that Beyonce booty. This is how we create the tension needed around our lower spine and pelvis to keep it in neutral and to lengthen through the lower spine. Beautiful. One more big inhale. And on your exhale, gently come back to center. Inhale, press away from your hands. Yogi's choice. You can either take your right foot back immediately, or you can lift it, press it against your shoulder, hold it there, and then take it back. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, yogi's choice. You can flow through a vinyasa or just set your knees down. We're gonna take a little child's pose just to relax. Phew. Couple of breaths in child's pose. Press your forehead against the mat. Notice how you feel. Let your shoulders relax. Side planks are very shoulder intensive. So we want to check in whether we feel any kinks in our shoulders that may need attending to. Take one more big exhale. Allow your shoulders to drop forward. Allow yourself to relax. And then when you're ready, move your hands forward. Extend your hands forward. We're going to come through cat-cow into a nice little downward facing dog. Remember, do this consciously. As you switch into your cow pose, already tuck your belly button to spine, find your Beyonce booty, and then press back and send it up. Okay, we're gonna walk a dog, and then we're gonna move to the other leg. So place your weight into your right foot, reaching the left foot up high. Come to your right tippy toes. 3 to 5 times left knee, right elbow. If you want, you can do a little push-up. I'm good. Pay attention to pulling your knee into your chest rather than touching your knee to the elbow. And then when you're done to your 3 or 5, you can take your left knee over the side, peeing on a fire hydrant. So peeing and then taking your left knee to the left elbow. And in a way, this is also checking in with our booty because we actually have to move it here. Okay, then we're gonna come back to three-legged dog. Take a breather here. Beautiful, big inhale. I'm gonna wait for everyone, so if you're not there yet, don't panic, finish your task, and then we're gonna meet. On your next exhale, I want you to take your left knee towards the right elbow. And then as you move forward, you can take your right leg to the side. So my right leg is facing sideways. I'm gonna put my weight into my left hand, and then I'm gonna open up. Next thing, I'm not just letting my foot drop, I'm lifting my foot so it's parallel to the floor. Oops. And now what I just did was I had 2 little rooms, so I was kind of bent. Try to open up. So try to keep a straight line. 2 more breaths. If you want, you can extend your leg if this is really hard for you. And then take your right hand back on the mat. Inhale, lift your left leg up high. Exhale, step it forward behind your left hand. Look forward, inhale. And exhale, right knee to the mat. Inhale, pressing into your left foot, coming all the way to the sky. And exhale, right hand on the left outside of your thigh, taking a nice little twist. Belly button to spine here. Find a nice little twist, look over your left side. If this is accessible for you and it feels good, you can slide your hand down. If you want more, you can extend your left hand up, curl your thumb to the back, and then find a nice little bind. If you find a bind, make sure you're pressing your knee against your shoulder. Then you can find a piriformis stretch. This is really nice for our booty. If you're binding, also make sure your shoulder presses against your knee, so it's a mutual thing. 2 more breaths. You don't have to look into the sky, you can just look down. This is not something that our neck has to be involved in. 2 more deep breaths, pull your belly button in. Remember, we're protecting our lower spine. And then on our next exhale, we're gonna de-evolutionize and come back to what we started at. So we're gonna come back into that nice little twist. Take a big inhale. And on our exhale, come back to center. Inhale, lifting our hands up to the sky. Exhale, take your hands on the inside of your front foot. Turn your front foot out. And then inhale, press away from the mat, belly button to spine, curl the toes under. Exhale, find your Beyonce booty while pulling the belly button to spine. And this is your alignment. Now you can find a nice little zigzag, a nice little curl as we gently start working with our hips, our lower legs, finding a nice little release in our hips. Beautiful. Take time to check in with yourself. Notice whether you're still pulling your belly button up and in, whether you're using your abs to help yourself release the lower back, because any hip opener will be tucking gently on your lower back unless you hold your alignment. On your next exhale, look forward, come back to center. On your inhale, press away from the mat. And then on your exhale, you choose your choice. You can step back or you can step and hold and then step back. Yogi's choice. We're gonna meet flat on our bellies, but you can choose to swim through your vinyasa and then come all the way to your belly. I'm gonna switch sides. Okay, use your block. So let's take our blocks once again. And this time we're gonna place the block on our booties. This is our favorite task. Okay, I gotta show you one thing while you breathe. Just relax, let your block sit. When we lift the block, let's use our hands side, so we don't use our fingertips to hold it. Let's use our hands. And if you are very flexible, your goal is to press your hands together as hard as you can. And this is what makes this so hard, okay? So don't use your fingertips, that's cheating. Okay. So we're gonna take the block, place it on our booties. And what we're gonna do is, first of all, you can take your hands on your block, side is the sides. And then I want you to pull your shoulders up to your ears so your elbows are pointing to the sky. So roll your shoulders. You can practice without the block. So elbows, shoulders to the ears and then back, and then your elbows are pointing to the side, to the sky. Grab your block. Your toes this time stay rooted on the floor, so we're not lifting our toes. Whenever you're ready, chin to chest, belly button to spine. On your next inhale, I want you to lift off the torso, and then exhale, extend your arms back, pressing into the block as much as you can. We're gonna take 4 more breaths here. Pull your belly button in, focus. This is hard, I know. 2 more. Chin to chest, belly button to spine, press into your block, and then when you're ready, exhale, come back. Take your arms to your side, just gently wriggle them out. This is hard work. I'm gonna check in. Can you give me a quick thumbs up if this was possible for you or if it didn't work? Oh yeah, perfect, good. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 more rounds. So round 2. Take your hands on your block so it's more in the curve of your back. Belly button to spine, chin to chest. On your next inhale, first lift off your torso and the elbows pointing to the sky. And on your exhale, send your block back. And then 4 more breaths. Press your hands into the block as much as you can. Big, beautiful inhales. Woo, this is hard, I know. 2 more, big inhale. Press your toes into the mat. And then on your exhale, whoo, release. Shake it out. 1 big inhale, and then we're gonna do the last round. This is a bit of shoulder mobility, but at the same time, it really makes sure your back muscles, your upper back muscles are working properly. Okay, last round. Hands on the block, elbows pointing to the sky, belly button to spine, chin to chest. Exhale once more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lift your hands, extend them back. Press your hands into the block. 4 more, big, beautiful inhales. Big, beautiful exhales. Long, beautiful neck. Shoulders draw away from the neck. Last big inhale. And then your exhale, release. Oh, beautiful. Let's take our block to the side. On your next inhale, I want you to reach your arms overhead. On your exhale, I want you to take your elbows underneath your shoulders. I want you to press into your mat, lifting away from the mat. Now I want you to pull your mat towards you, belly button to spine. So we're stretching our top abs. They're not too sore yet, but we're also kind of finding a different motion for our back, a supported back bend. Woo! Okay, and here's your release. Relax. On your next exhale, I want you to open your arms into a big Y position. And we're gonna do the step over thing. I'm gonna start rolling onto my right shoulder first. If you have any sort of neck or shoulder issues, please press your arm into the mat. Don't let it be passive. So I'm pressing my right palm into the floor, taking my left hand next to my torso. Okay, I'm gonna turn, hold on, here. Actually correcting the camera. Whoop. Okay. So, I'm gonna roll on my right shoulder, left hand next to my chest, lift your left foot, and then roll onto your right arm, pressing your hand into the mat. So we get a nice little gentle twist in our spine and a nice little opening in the chest. Beautiful. About 2 or 3 more breaths. Oh yay, beautiful, you can see me. I like that. And then when you're ready, exhale, come back to center. We're gonna move to the other side. So take your left hand to the side, take your right hand next to you, lift your right foot, and then we're gonna press our left hand into the mat. And remember, you gotta have a Y position in your arms, so we're not using the T, because we wanna get in the little Brustmuskel, so we get the nice little stretch. Ooh, pectoralis minor, that was the word I was looking for, or the words. 2 more breaths. And then when you're ready, on your next exhale, come back to center. Beautiful. We're gonna do one swift motion to come to sit on our booty. So take your hands back next to your chest, pull your navel against your spine, ears up, shoulders up to the ears and back, and then lift into baby cobra. Inhale in and exhale all the way into your cat. Cross over your legs. We're gonna come to seated. Ooh, this is a nice part. I'm sitting. Ooh, I'm very far back. I'm gonna have to check my clock. Ah, beautiful. Perfect. We're gonna sit on our booties. And this is the painful thing. For everyone who's been in the Wednesday class, this is achy breaky. Okay, we're gonna stay seated in boat for a second, because I warned you, we're gonna do an ab workout. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna start with that pistol motion, right and left. And then we're gonna come back to our yogi bicycles. And then we're gonna release, and then that's it. So you can grab your hands behind your kneecaps. Now, remember the alignment that we were talking about all today. So pull your belly button against your spine, and this will automatically give you that lift, okay? Now, find your Beyoncé booty. And as you have your Beyoncé booty, lean back a little to even out the pressure of your legs coming up. Pull your belly button to spine, find that Beyoncé booty. Okay, when you're ready, release your arms, take them out to the side first, and then find a nice little pistol. You can also just touch the floor. So we're gonna touch the floor right, and we're gonna touch the floor left, and we're gonna do each side 10 times. And just keep your legs lifted. Keep your belly button pulling against the spine, and if you can, try to keep that Beyoncé booty. Okay, so we're really handing over. What I like about this exercise is that we're really handing over the balancing part. Yeah, so our abs have to stabilize us here. But we're really handing over in a smooth motion the balancing responsibilities. Woo! Yes, my legs are working. Beautiful. Even out the sides. And then when you're ready, even in it out. And then gently pull your knees into your chest. And then you can roll back. I have to scoot forwards a little bit to roll back. Woo! That was a nice little crack for me. So my spine is releasing, getting really nice and warm. You can roll back a couple of times, just massaging your spine. This actually feels quite good on my booty as I roll over it. It's like Plätzchenrollen with a Plätzchenroller mit a Teigroller. Okay, and then we obviously stop on our backs and we get ready for the challenging part. They have become such a staple in the core stability yoga classes. Okay, when you're ready, again, find a number in your head that you really want to follow. I want to give you the option today of working your adductors again. So if you know that you have lower back issues, take your block, because we want to strengthen our adductors. There are Verlängerung of our pelvic floor. If you have problems with your lower back, this may be the exercise for you. Use your block, take it in between your knees, press hard onto your block. Then take your hands. You can either take a little handbook, that's fine too. And we're pressing the block into our hands, and you're gonna roll up as much as you can, so you're actually engaging your core. If you feel a strain in your neck, you haven't rolled up enough. Yeah? And then you can just tap your right elbow as much, you can pull your knees in a little bit, and this might be your workout. Yeah? Using the abductors. Anyone who wants to go into regular yogi bicycles, feel free to do so. This might be a nice challenge as well. Yeah. So if this is usually really easy for you to do your yogi bicycles, maybe this is a nice exercise to get into more long abs. You can switch too. So in between, I can switch. I can opt to do the correct yogi bicycles. But remember, if you feel it in your neck, you're not engaging your core properly. So allow yourself to really roll off. Engage your core, and we are working here. We are actually, this should be strenuous, okay? It shouldn't hurt, but it should be strenuous. If you want to add a little spice, also add your toe taps. And I'm gonna count, from now on, I'm gonna count 10 per side. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And 5 extra because we worth it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Even at your sides. And then take your hands back down. Feet back on the mat. And now let's find a nice little bridge pose. Hands next to your booty. Now remember your alignment. Belly button to spine. Find a nice little Beyonce booty already here. Walk your shoulders together. And then lift from the shoulders up. Interlock your hands. Now take beautiful big belly breaths. Really breathing into every area that you strain down. Now, you can use your block to release. So you can use your block and use a supported bridge pose if you want to focus on the opening in your belly area. That's fine too. If you're not in a supported bridge pose, feel free to come down and just take a second to breathe. Wherever you are, if you're still in supported bridge pose or if you're laying down on your back, direct your breath into any area of your belly that you may feel now. Because breathing into it allows it to A, get oxygen, and B, because of your belly movement, it has to release. If you are in supported bridge pose, gently come back down. And we're going to find some nice little twists. So can you please take your arms on your shoulder height, take your nice little cactus arms. And I want you to sit your booty to the left a little bit. So lift it, move it to the left a little bit. And then I want you to send your knees to the right and look over to the left side. You can enhance this stretch, obviously, if you use your right heel to lay on the left knee. But I want you to focus on that stretch of the abdominal muscles. So you have a really nice, just gentle stretch. The stretching depends now on your breathing. So please take big, beautiful belly breaths all the way into your lower belly. So now we're back in relaxation breathing pattern. 2 more. when you're ready, just unwrap your legs and come back to center, and we're gonna move to the other side. So just move your booty to the right a little bit and then move your legs to the left, looking over the right shoulder. If you want to enhance the stretch, just take your left heel on the right knee. But focus on that gentle stretch over your belly. Enhance it by breathing into your belly. So you can even feel the skin tighten on the top of your body by breathing into the belly. If you're not breathing into the belly, your stretch is not going to be nice and you're going to be like, what? Why are we doing this? Remember, me for example, I know that I'm going to be sore in my top abs over the next couple of days. Remember Sphinx pose, that one where we have our elbows underneath our shoulder and we're laying on our bellies? This might be your best friend in the next couple of days. If you're here to stretch with me tomorrow, it's definitely going to be in the tomorrow stretch. So take one more big inhale. And then on your exhale, come back to center. Beautiful. Okay, and I wouldn't want to miss this stretch, so we're going to crawl in onto our right side, extend our arms in front of us as if we're clapping, as if we're clapping with arms outstretched. Use any sort of bolster or block, if you have any, or a big pillow to lay behind you if you know that your arm's not going to touch the mat. Now be very, very detailed. You can also use a block underneath your head if you want, about your knees being at a 90-degree angle of your torso and your knees being directly above each other. Now, I want you to notice if you can find a little gap in between your hip bone and where your rib cage is. Yeah, just notice that. That means your hips are level. So we want to keep that. Extend your arms overhead. Now, on your next exhale, open with a big roll. Open your left arm to the left. And then check in with your knees. And maybe if you felt that little crease or that little distance next to your hip bone, notice that again. So find that nice little crease in your hip, that nice little distance behind your hip bone where the torso is not touching the ground. So that tells you your hips are square. If you want an arm stretch, you can go, instead of being straight on shoulder height, you can lift your arm overhead a little. That's going to be a nice little shoulder stretch if you want that. Really paying attention to your legs. And now breathe deeply. Allowing your stretch to get into the side abs, the intercostal musculature in between your ribs. Making space. And take one more big inhale before we gently come back to center or back to the right side, pressing into your right elbow. I'm going to change sides so I can still see you. And we're going to move to the other side. So we're laying on our left side. Again, find that nice little space above your hip bone where your torso won't touch the mat if your hips are square. And then on your next exhale, open your right arm to the right side. If you want that shoulder stretch, which feels quite nice for me today, you can extend your arms to the back a little bit overhead. Check in with your knees. So don't forget to check in with your knees and don't forget to check in with your breath. Beautiful deep breaths. So we're really working or breathing into the side body now, intercostal muscle, so in between your rib cage, really opening up any tension that our torsos hold. Letting your breath slowly slow down and deepen once more. And then when you're ready, on your next exhale, I want you to come back to the left side. Press into your left elbow and roll back to center. You can take your block out underneath. Now it's yogi's choice. So you have two options. You all have a block hopefully next to you. So my one option is to do supported bridge pose once more for about 10 breaths. Or you can choose to do a supported shoulder stand or a real shoulder stand if you want to feel a nice inversion. But actually, if you think about it, your supported bridge pose is already a nice little inversion. If you're in supported bridge pose, make sure your legs are not falling apart, but falling to the inside. And really notice your Kreuzbein, the pressure of your hip bones onto your lower back release. If you're in your nice little shoulder stand, you may feel the sensation of all your blood flowing back to center. Remember that if you're in any type of shoulder stand situation, you're putting a little bit of pressure on your lymph system in a good way. You're massaging your lymph system around your neck, and it helps the lymph to flow back to center. So this might be nice. Now use the next 5 breaths to deepen your breath. Wherever you are, find a nice steady flow of breathing. Let the pose be a vessel. So the pose, we're moving our focus away from our poses and into our breath. The pose should facilitate by now your relaxation. So if you're in a pose where you have to be really active, come back to a pose where it's easier to breathe. Remember to breathe. Focus on breathing. Focus on your release. We're going to take 3 more breaths wherever we are. And then use your next exhale. Just say goodbye to whatever pose you're in now. And use your inhale to gently unravel, pressing away from the mat. Taking your booty down to the mat. And then if you want to put on any clothing, I probably should because I'm really cold. I'm grabbing a blanket. Find your blankets. Find your socks. Oops. Find a nice little position for you to almost fall asleep in. I love rolling on my side recently, so if you don't want to be on your backs for Shavasana, that's perfectly fine. So just choose a spot, choose a blanket, choose some socks, choose a position to really wind down. And then notice all of the tension leaving your body. Allow yourself to rest and recover. If you feel like you're impatient, you feel like you can't really let yourself rest right now, then feel free to come back to your breath. Deepen your breath. We're going to stay here for just about 2 or 3 more minutes. So you can focus on your breath. And allow yourself a little bit of pranayama. Ideally, you'd feel like you could sink into your mat right now. You can really close your eyes and drift away. Feel the sensation of having moved your body. To keep our backs and our bodies and our core healthy, we want to learn how our muscles interact. It's unconscious for us while we move, but by doing exercises which require our muscles to work together, we can teach our bodies to interact, teach our bodies to use the muscles correctly. And hopefully this is what we've done today together. strengthened, worked out, probably released some of the nervous energy that we're carrying around with us. Gently. Let each of your exhalations, let you sink deeper into the mat. Let each of your exhalations allow you to release another muscle, another cell that's holding any tension, another cell that hasn't yet reached recovery mode, relaxation mode. Allow your nervous system to wind down by telling yourself to lay still, to embrace stillness. And then when you're ready, draw your attention back to your breath. It's your choice whether you want to deepen your breath once more or whether you're just letting it flow freely, just noticing what's going on. Check in with your mental space. Is there something that you should let go of? A thought, a plan, an emotion that doesn't serve you, that maybe you've been clinging on to unconsciously? Or that you can just let go and start anew. Is there something that needs tending to? A part of your body, a part of your soul that needs a little stillness to reflect, to mend, and to address? Is there something that you have done very well in the last couple of days? Can you say thanks to yourself and appreciate yourself, value yourself, tell yourself how great of a job you've done? And last but not least, is there something you can tell yourself that you love about yourself? A little self-love. And even if you don't feel like telling yourself, I love myself because I'm brave, keep telling yourself a positive notion, a word of love, and then eventually it's gonna sink into our subconscious and become part of who we are. Gently allow movement to come back to your body. Maybe wriggle your fingertips. Maybe wriggle your toesies. And then maybe you want to stretch out overhead, or maybe you want to curl into a little ball on the side. Just listen to your body. Listen to what your body tells you to do now. Take a pause in your choice of stretch or ball rolling. And then maybe think about getting back up to seated. And then let actions follow. Look at me. Try to find a space on your yoga mat where your big fat little puppy is not. Oh, we're just sitting on top of it. Ooh. And when we're back in the seated position, we're gonna check in with the spine of our neck. Just roll your head gently. And I would like to finish with a little massage of our neck area. So you all know this one. We're gonna use our hands to pull up the skin around our shoulders, really pull it up. Grab in there. I can feel some scrunching around my shoulder blade. Beautiful. Giving myself a nice little massage. And then I'm gonna use both hands, send them back as much as I can, and then pull my skin up, take the elbows in front of me. And then I'm gonna circle my head gently. I can pause in one spot if it's really achy. And then when you're ready, release your arms. Just take your hands in front of your heart and let's bow forwards. We're going to bow to the best in ourselves, the best in everyone else. We're going to remember the words of love we have spoken to ourselves. The appreciation we just uttered to ourselves in our minds for anything that we did great this week. It's so important to also direct positive thoughts and positive words to ourselves, like we would to encourage a friend. And then let's take our hands in between our eyebrows to make peace for all the bad words, all the times we called ourselves names, all the bad notions, how easy it is to tell us, oh, how stupid was I today because I didn't do that or I forgot about that. So let's make peace with that. Let's take our hands to our hearts for love. Replace all of the bad self-talk with love for ourselves, with appreciation. Value ourselves to know our worth. And then let's take our hands to the floor. And I don't want to leave out today all of the people who reinforce our self-love, who make us feel worthy, loved, appreciated, seen, who make us feel great. But let's not forget that one of these people should always be ourselves. And so I say thank you to you, each one of you who came to the mat today, to be gentle and good to themselves.